Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, I am a little earlier than the calendar stated, and it is a different topic because I still have some pressure in between my eyes. It's not as bad as it was earlier, but the lights in my office, if I turn them on, I'm sensitive to the light. So I'm going to just do this Q&A style, but I really want you guys to give me project ideas that you have or like designs that you've been trying to figure out. And I'm going to show you how to do it and recreate it in Silhouette Studio. So we can still do general questions, but for this one, I'm hoping that you guys have some things that you really wanted to learn how to design in Silhouette Studio, and I can show you guys how to do that. All right. So that's what we're going to do today for day 12 of Silaholics Anonymous month. We're supposed to do vinyl on canvas. Unfortunately, I cannot turn on these lights. My eyes are very sensitive to the light right now, and yeah, but I wanted to still do a video. I'm in a little pain, like a little discomfort. So not necessarily pain, but when I look directly into the light, it does affect me. So we're just going to focus on the program today and just designing in Silhouette Studio. You can't do any of the crafts that we have gone over without knowing how to design in Silhouette Studio. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so hello, Miss Clark. Hello, Miss Hill. Chrissy Creations. Hello. Welcome, everyone. And I did go live because it's a Q&A, so I did go live over on Facebook as well. So feel free to share it out and tag a friend into the live broadcast. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Joe. Hello, Miss Thomas. Beverly Smith. Hello, Tiffany. How are you? Hey. Good evening. All right, we are going to get started shortly. I know that the calendar says that it's supposed to be at 7. I wanted to start a little bit earlier so that I could be done by dinner time so that I can just eat and then go to bed. Still a little discomfort, especially between like my eyes. And so, yeah, but I still wanted to do a live. So we're going to do that today. We're going to go over Silhouette Studio. I was trying to go through groups to see if there were any posts in any of the groups that I'm in that had like specific questions on, hey, how do you design this? Or how would I like make this? And I didn't really see like a lot of questions like that. But if you guys have them, try to figure out how to create a certain design in Silhouette Studio, definitely post it so that I can show you guys how to do it. I'm going to go back through one of the Silhouette groups that I'm in. Alrighty. So these are more like help ones. I don't really see any about a specific design technique. All right. Well, I'm going to rely on you guys so that this is not a kind of a dead live, and it's an informative live. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and start posting them now. Yes, you still see my title screen, just waiting for you guys, waiting for a question that I can kind of start with, or for you, or looking for a post and I can start with a design, or for you guys to post questions, that's what we're going to do today. And let me just go ahead and also forgot to do my introduction. I am Shakia, the professor of Silaholics Anonymous, and the product line, Honestly Speaking. I do live tutorials, I'm sorry. I forgot. I don't use the word tutorials anymore. I do live teachings as well as pre-recorded teachings on both my YouTube channels as well as my academy to teach you how to use Silhouette Studio, which is the design program that controls the Cameo and like the Cameo, Portrait, Curio, and Alpha machines. But it is a pretty decent standalone program, like graphic designing program. So think of it like your gateway drug, your gateway program to learning graphic designing for all of your custom projects and things like that. So I teach you, I didn't realize I did drop the word on my keyboard. Oh no. I teach you how to design, whether it is like this week for vinyl, for print, for digital designs, sublimation. The possibilities are endless in what you can design in Silhouette Studio and how you can use those designs. All right. Let's see. Oh, I didn't realize I still had that on. Good evening. Hello. Sorry you're having eye sensitivity to light. Yeah, it's poor right now. Me too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Silhouette Studio. And I see 2 questions here, so we're going to get started. All right. First question was, how you do something that is white, like white text? What are you trying to use it for? Are you trying to cut it from vinyl? Are you trying to print to something, like you're trying to put it inside of a design? I need a little bit more as far as what you're trying to do with the white text. I can never figure out how to cut designs by color. So, all right, let me go to open. I'm so mad. I lost all of my recovered documents. I am pissed. I lost all of my recovered documents. And I don't think that I had some of that stuff saved. I'm like really mad at myself. Okay, so let's take this for example. We're gonna copy this because I have all of these. Also, well, you know what? Let me see. I'm gonna take all of this and no, let's just delete this part. All right. If I go and grab this one, we're going to go to Cameo and just a 12 by 12 matte. So for cutting by color, if you notice there, I have blue up here. I have this one over here, like how all the colors are spread out. If you cut by color, this is not like Cricut where it's going to take all of those little pieces and just pull them up to the top to minimize the amount of vinyl that you're using. Silhouette Studio is a where it is where it will cut, where it is where it will print type of program. So if you go to send, you go over here at the top to fill because they're filled by colors. All of those colors are here. So I'm going to click, I'm going to uncheck all of them. I can go just to the cyan. But I have to have a piece of vinyl that is at least, let me see, this is here. So from here to here, coming down by this, coming down to here. So all of that space, like up and through here, would be wasted. If I cut this, the magenta, where it is. So there's this, just this piece here, this here. I could try to cut down a piece of vinyl that is this size, but then I have to have it where that vinyl sits right, like I have to position it where it's right here so that it cuts. And then you would go to yellow and you would put your vinyl down for the yellow. You would go back in, uncheck that, do the black. I am one where I don't, wait, why is, okay, there it is. I don't know. All this is for some other stuff. All right, so then you would do the black. You can cut by color like this, but again, you will waste a lot of vinyl. Now you can also move this around. So let's say you cut the black. Now you want to cut the magenta, right? So I'm going to uncheck black. We're going to select here and pull. You can then move this to where it is to like the top, like up here. So you don't have to ungroup it. Well, you don't have to separate it. So you can put this here. It will cut. Uncheck that. Let's go to blue. And then I can put this like right here. So now I only need a piece that is this big. So that's how you'll have to use it if you want to use the cut by color. You can cut by fill, you can cut by line color or layer. Let's see, where are we? How do you do a double-sided centerpiece using words that are cut out but have them read right to left from the other side? If it is text and it is, so let's say this was a centerpiece. I cannot flip this and make it look the right way. The only way that I would be able to do that, it has to be inside of a shape where the shape will change. So if I were to do a star, or let's make it simple and let's just do a circle. And well, just so that it actually looks different, let's put this here, put a dot there, and I'm going to just delete this one just so that it makes somewhat of like some sense. All right, so this has this little cutoff right here, right? If I were to just flip this, and let's say like maybe this is like a card or something that's going to open. If I were to just mirror this to the other side, my text, once I fold it, it's going to be backwards. So I would mirror the outside shape, but then the inside part, so I'm going to select it all, hold down Shift, select it, and then I'm going to flip it horizontally. So now once it closes, like if this was something I was going to fold, or it's the opposite side of it, because now they line up, it will read the correct way. But I could never do just this by itself. If it is a birthday design or something like that, you have to flip the outside shape, but keep all of the text the same. I did that when I did, I think it was I'm not sure if I even have that file still. I'm just going to look for the Versace bag. Versace canned bag. Let's go to images. And where is that one that just had it? All right, I'm going to take this one because it's plain. Now, if it has like a pattern on it, there's no way to really make the pattern line up. But let's say I was doing a print and cut of this one. So we're going to go trace and detach, or select trace area, increase our threshold, and trace and detach. So if I was doing this as some sort of like centerpiece, what I could do is we're going to duplicate this for the mirrored side. So that's the other side. Of course, the words are backwards. You're going to take or you can actually create a custom shape. So I'm going to go here because the chain is there. So I'm just going to create this custom shape around the words. And then I'm going to copy this, select them both, modify and crop, flip this horizontally, right click, paste in front, right click, send it to the back, And you see how right here, a little bit of that is peeking out. I'm just going to take this and move it over. Is it exact? No, because that pattern doesn't quite line up, but that is kind of the same concept. You have to flip the text, but leave the shape. Well, no, flip the shape, but leave the text the correct way. Hopefully that makes sense. How do you trace white text? So you do a reverse. It's like a reverse. So you trace everything else around it. If you can give me an example of something that you tried, like if you've searched something on Google recently and you're trying to figure out how to trace that, if you give me an example, I can search it and then show you. But it's basically called a reverse trace. You trace everything around it and then release compound path to be able to have that part. Hello, do you have one-on-ones or classes showing steps to build and design your own templates? Templates for what though? Like what type of templates? I do one-on-one sessions. However, I'm not doing any for the month of August because my schedule is like super, super packed, whether I'm either live or I'm prepping for a live because it is Silaholics Anonymous month. How do you cut out printed letters and they stay together where it will be one cut altogether? Only way that you can do that is to put an offset around it, and that offset is what you will cut. So you will have extra around it. There is no way to make them all stay together. If you're not using like vinyl, if it's like paper or something like that, they're going to be separated. It has to be an offset, or you can put like a straight line underneath. So if I were to type out, well, even with this, let's just take HS ink. I'm going to take this part, pull this up here, and so if this was like this, they're all separated. I would have to take it and put an offset. And you can make it as small as it can possibly go to where they overlap. So you can kind of just use your arrows to tab up. Now there's slight overlap there. I'm going to hit apply. But whatever you're using, whatever you're using it for, will now have an outline around it. So you can either leave that white, it'll be white paper, white printable vinyl, or you can color that in, and once you print it, that becomes a colored background. But there's no way to just kind of. Other option is to make it where they are connected, and that is by creating a like box or something that is touching all of them. But then that just adds like another element to it. So I'm going to go there. Let's just make it black. So now they're all on there. And then when you go to cut it and you go cut edge, so I'm going to go back to simple. Right now, well, it's already set to cut edge. So as a regular cut, it will cut each individual letter. You can see where it has the breaks here. But when you go cut edge, it's going to cut around it, and everything is attached to this black bar. How do you make your logo a business card for print and cut? So you're wanting it to be an actual business card, as in a square or like a rectangle, or you're saying like the shape of your logo. If that's what you're saying, you have to just do a trace and detach of it, and then it gives you the cut line. Templates like you did for the graph-in, yard sign. So like regular design type stuff. So I just teach design. I have my master's program, and we have sessions where we are going over and we're learning designing and stuff like that. Part of creating templates like that is just about your creativity and how much you think outside of the box. When you are creating different designs and stuff, I teach the basics all the time. Something as like tracing a shape, adding text to it. How you arrange it is based off of like your creativity. So if you have some ideas in mind and you're trying to figure out how to really pull those together in September, you can book a one-on-one session, or just kind of follow some of my design classes that I have done. You'll get ideas from the banner class, text effects. We did in my master's class, we've had flyers and things like that. So it's just combining all of your techniques for how to design in Silhouette Studio. I created a file and I'm thinking about selling it. How do I save it to where if they want to change the size, it won't distort the image? Are you trying to save it as a PNG or JPEG type image, or an SVG? Don't forget, guys, to tag a friend, share this video out, give it a thumbs up. If you are enjoying the content, whether you, especially if you asked a question, you got your question answered, make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up, like the video, share it out to your various groups if you can safely share. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead, try and get this to at least 20 shares, get some more people on here so that I can answer their questions for Silhouette Studio and designing in Silhouette Studio. If you guys have any specific types of designs that you want to see, now is the time to ask for examples of those designs, because we're just doing Silhouette Studio today. So if you have something you've been trying to figure out how to do, if you have an example of it, you can tell me where to go at, like on Google, or you saw it in a specific group, just let me know and I will do my best to recreate it and help you figure out how to do that design. Okay, JPEG, I guess it's an image with characters that I trace in words. So you want to make it as kind of large, as big as possible. If I were to take this and save it as a JPEG and someone, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. And I'm just going to go down here to Academy, HS Inc. Live Save 1. I'm going to save that as a JPEG. In order to save as a JPEG, you must have Business Edition. And then I'm going to take this all the way up and then just hit save. Now I'm going to make this much larger. And then I'm going to go File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and HS Inc. Well, let's go JPEG, HS Inc. Live, Save to. Okay. I'm going to take that up and then save. So now I want to open this. Well, let's go File, Merge, Quick Access 1, File, Merge, Quick Access 2. Oh, they actually came back. They both came in at the same size. All right, this one actually did pretty good because I took it all the way up, and it also is like a regular, this is a vector file. If you are bringing in a picture that you just kind of found, that one has to be high resolution also. If it's not, when you bring it in, it's going to distort. I can see a slight difference in these two. It's not very much because one was a bigger size and one was a smaller size. So this has more of like a pink halo here. And then this one is solid. So it's a very, very slight difference. On this pink, you can see, I guess on the monitor, you guys can't see it because I'm looking at my playback monitor. but there is a line here, which is kind of like a halo, and it's not up here. It's a little bit clear. But you can see, if you take it all the way up, it will save it as a higher resolution. Let me try and do that with a regular image. Let's see. Let's see. What character should I look for? Oh, Bugs Bunny. So I thought someone asked about a Bugs Bunny character, but let's see. That looked like it was custom artwork. And okay, this says that it is 600 by 900. So I'm going to go paste. And then all right, I'm going to go File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. I'm going to go JPEG, Save Test. Take this up and then save it. File, merge, and bring that one in. Okay, so Bugs Bunny here, and then here, there is a little bit more distortion around that one than it is this one. You don't kind of see all of that because it's stretched a little bit bigger. Well, I don't think I'm going to get him that much bigger without going like too big, but you start to get more distortion, more so around the side. This is a pretty good resolution. So if you start with one that's a really good high resolution, you should not have any issues. There's like halos or distortion around the outside, but the middle of him looks okay, given the size of the original image. So just taking that all the way up definitely helped the final resolution of this. And no matter how big, and like see now I'm at 119 inches wide, 63 height, and it's still not distorted. So it's really about how you save it. What's the difference between saving as a JPEG and a PNG? Can you customize one and not the other? No, the only difference is having the ability to have a transparent background. So if I were to, I mean, even with these, you see how this has all this white here? If I were to take this, File, Save, Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and I go to PNG, Save Test 2. Here, the JPEG never gave me the option to save as a transparent background. I can choose that one and then save. And when I go File, Merge, you see it's saved exactly how it was here. This included a whole solid like background. This does not. It left it where it's transparent through here. That's really the only difference. Yeah, I think that was I saw someone. I mean, I don't know how to. That's why I said let me check Bugs Bunny, but you'll just have to search it. That may have been a custom design that someone drew. That's the thing you guys have to remember, that just because you see a design doesn't mean that you're going to be able to find like an SVG, a JPEG, a PNG that is like that. Someone may have custom drawn that, so you're not going to be able to find it. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, you can cut by color in the basic edition. I showed that in the beginning, so you'll have to go back and rewatch this to see how to cut by color. All right, while we wait for the next question to come in, guys, don't forget that shop.silaholics Anonymous is the home of the Honestly Speaking products. That is where we have the best sublimation paper on the market, as well as the best sublimation ink. We have a true black ink that's going to give you amazing colors, even using plain paper setting. Your colors will pop. I'm using plain paper setting, and with our paper, you can sublimate as low as 365 degrees for 30 seconds on most heat presses. On the easy press, I can do 365 for 45 seconds. As long as you have accurate heat and even pressure, you can sublimate at much lower temperatures and do the job a whole lot faster when using Honestly Speaking sublimation paper and ink. So click the link in the description of this video that says Shop HS Ink, and that will take you to our HS Ink collection. Go and look and see everything we have to offer. All orders placed before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time are sent out the exact same day. And if it comes after 3, it just goes out the next day. All right. So check out shop.silaholics.anonymous.com. Nope, no vinyl today because I can't turn the lights on. I'm literally doing this in the dark. The only light that I have is the light from my computer, and that's actually dimmed down because my eyes are very sensitive to the light right now. I still have a headache or I have pressure. She says, even though you're putting us on $1 million worth of game, $10 is all I can afford. I really do appreciate all you do. That almost made me cry. Thank you so much that you feel that way, that it is information and game that's just priceless. Like, I mean, because to say like $1 million to me, like that's just the equivalent to me of like just being priceless. So I thank you so much for that, because you guys don't know, like, it's hard sometimes. Some days I'm like, is it worth it? Am I helping people? I don't know. Like, I do have those moments. So to see that definitely does my soul good and does my heart good, because that lets me know that all that I do is not in vain and that it really is helping others. So thank you so much for that. I literally have tears in my eyes right now. Oh my gosh. I'm a big wuss. I'm very, very sensitive right now. Oh wow. Oh gosh. Trying to turn me into a water bag. Oh my God. Oh wow. Whew. Okay, wait. I'm muting for a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. Are there any other questions, any help questions that you guys have about certain design aspects and silhouette? I mean, you guys are designing. Are you just like you're okay? Like you don't struggle with anything. You aren't trying to figure out how to do something. I am live, like right now, offering my help to you all. So take advantage of it when I'm live and I'm doing these type of Q&As where I'm saying, like, no question is really off limit right now. Too late. Too late, too late, too late. You did it. Too late. Oh, wow. All right, if there are no questions, I will end. We'll be done in 30 minutes. Woohoo! Go ahead, post your questions. I am that one to where I'm like, when I'm saying go post them, post your questions. All right, let's see. Aw, thank you. Can you use the fade bars all around a pick? Not really. I mean, you can put them there. You'll have to use 4 different ones, but they won't like blend. It'll still look like like a box. So they're not really made for that. No. So when they say put TPTM, that's the hashtag for the professor taught me. So that's what that stands for, TPTM. You just did right there, you just type it in. So if you anything that you've learned throughout this month from the different crafts that I've done, if you learned how to do a design, once you post your design, just put the hashtag TPTM. Especially if you learned something from one of my videos, that's all you have to do is, along with all of your other hashtags for your projects, just put TPTM, because I search it to see if, designs or final projects that someone's done. And I like to see if I was able to help someone. So that's the same way you typed it out, hashtag TPTM. That's all you have to do. Thank you so much for all that you do. You are always responsive and always respectful. No craft shaming with you. Most appreciative. Oh, thank you, Joe. Crop something like what? How do you slice a large image? Well, then let's just go and paste this Bugs Bunny. I'm going to do a trace and detach. Now you're talking about okay, wait. When you say slice it, what type of large image? Like, what are you trying to do with it? Let me ask that first. What is it that you want to be able to do with the large image? Okay, but what are you trying to crop, ma'am? You're saying you're struggling with cropping, but what? Because if I just take a box and place it over this, so if you're just telling me you have trouble with cropping, if I just go like this and say crop, then that's just cropping. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you needing help with? What are you struggling with? For cropping, for print and cut, then you would do a trace and detach, not cropping. You guys can continue to post your questions so that we don't have so much dead air. Like if someone asks a question and I have to wait for them to respond, we can answer other questions so that we don't have dead air waiting for them to type out their response to my question. So you don't have to wait until the next one. Just go ahead and post your questions. My 7210 order was canceled, so I purchased the 7840 locally. Already have a 7720. Would you suggest another 7840 or HP product for non-sublimation printing, i.e. chip bags? I've never used HP. I don't know how about HP's large format. I'm one that I prefer to print large format. And I do find that a lot of HPs are really, really huge, and you would think that they're large format, but they still only print 8.5 inches wide. So if you are able to find an HP and you like HP products, I'm one where I prefer pigment ink. To my understanding, the office jets are pigment ink, but all the office jets are also only 8.5 inches wide print. So you can print longer, but it's only 8.5 inches wide. So the 7840 is a pigment ink printer. It does allow for large format. So 11 by 17, 12 by 18 paper, 13 by 19, 12 by 24, things like that. So for me, I pretty much stick with Epson products. So if I had to choose between the two, it would be the 7840, but I'm a little biased. Can you explain what you did there, how you remove the white parts? Oh, I'm sorry. I've done that. I didn't even think to explain it because I've done a few videos on that before. So once you trace and detach, you have to just do another trace. So you're just going to put your box in the area that you want to trace. And I have a full video on Silaholics Anonymous's YouTube. So if you guys have not checked out my YouTube, I have years and years of content on there. Almost every question that you have is on my YouTube channel. I promise you it's on there. So definitely check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, go through some of the videos because there's a lot of great content. Remember, I teach. So you're going to get a full understanding of what it is you're trying to, especially like my videos now, like my earlier videos, I was kind of getting to the groove, and some of them are, how I was explaining them may not have been as efficient, but all of my ones over the past 3-4 years have been amazing. So you would just do another trace over just that part. So you're just going to take your threshold up until the yellow is around that area and hit trace. Then you're going to click on just the trace, fill it with color so that you can see where you're clicking at. Then you're going to right click and release compound path, hold down shift, click inside of both of those areas and delete. So now you're left with just those two pieces. Select the image and those two pieces, go over to modify and subtract. And that's how you take that out. Can you explain how you just remove those pieces? I traced by color on each one of those pieces, one at a time to do that. Oh, yeah. So that was me explaining that again. Hi, looking for a new sublimation printer. You prefer a 7720 or 7210? The 7720 is discontinued. They did have a closeout sale for it. I don't know if that's their way of trying to slide it back in there, if they're going to have any more, but they had those as a closeout. So you're not able to, I still say to this day, unless something crazy happens like a couple weeks ago, you are not able to buy a 7720. The 7210 is the one that is still in production. It is exactly the same as the 7720. The only difference is it doesn't have a full color digital screen, and it's not an all-in-one. It is just a straight printer, but it prints the same size, the same resolution, the same speed, and it uses the exact same cartridges. So they're the same. They both have 2 trays in the front and a rear feed. So with those, I mean, of course, if I had to choose, I'm always going to choose the one that has the screen that's a little bit easier to see. If you're able to find a 7720, which we will have on our website, even asked me like, when are you going to put them up there? I haven't had a chance to go, and I want to take the picture with all of it together so that people understand that it's with the printer. It's a full setup. It will not be just the printer by itself. It is a full setup. It's going to be around like $700 because it's going to include the full ink setup, paper setup, heat transfer tape, all that kind of good jazz. So it's a full setup for that. Okay, I'm going to come right back to that one. Slice an image for larger prints like 13 by 17. But what size? So wait, okay, 13 by 17. So what size paper are you printing to? I have a 12 by 16 pick that I want to print to sublimate onto a canvas. Oh, well, that's a little bit different as far as I don't, so I have a certain way that I do it. I don't show that one on live. So I guess there was some limitations to what you can ask because some people pay good, like, you know, in my sublimation seminar. And when I go over how to do large, how to do all over shirts, I show a certain way to kind of do things, but I will just kind of go over the way that it's in the video that I already have on Facebook. I do have an easier way to do it, but you have to take one of my classes to learn how to do that. So let's say I want to go, I'm going to go File, Open. Let's see. Actually cancel. It might already be open. Nope. I think I deleted everything. Oh no, that's what I was looking for right there. So I'm going to go copy and bring this over here. So you're doing a 12 by 16. Also, what size paper are you trying to print to also? So I need to know for both of you, what size paper are you printing to? So I'm going to make this box while I'm waiting for your answer. I'm going to make this box and I'm going to make it a width of, what'd you say, 16? 16 and a height of 12. You may end up wanting to go full bleed. You're going to want to put an offset on it. Well, this one I won't have an offset because it's just this part. So I'm going to put this here and I'm going to get it to fit as big as I can within this box. So I want to sublimate this to a canvas. This is as big as I can get it. So I'm waiting for you guys to answer what size paper. Will trace and detach not work for remove? No, trace and detach only traces the outside part and then removes that from it. So your inner parts would still be there. Okay, so if you're using 13 by 19, well, this person can do it. So I'm guessing for, she said, I have a 12 by 16 pick that I want to submit onto canvas. So I'm guessing you have a small format printer and not a 13 by 19 paper. So let's say we do 8.5 by 11. Let's just go there because you can print 12. I just thought about that. You can print 12 by 16 to 13 by 19 paper. So let's just say it's 8.5. I'm going to save this as a, so I'm going to remove this. This is all basically a vectorized file. I'm going to go File, Save as, Save Selection, Save to hard drive, and I'm going to save this as a PNG. And release for me 12 by 16. I'm going to save as a transparent background, make sure I take it all the way up, get the best resolution. And then we're going to go File, Merge. And this is also, I guess, will answer your question, Sharon, about cropping. So I'm going to bring this in here. And Oh, wait, I forget. Silhouette, when you have certain things, sometimes it acts crazy, but okay, it didn't give me that little weird gray spot. So this, all right, so it fits inside. It's the right size. I need to do 8.5 by 11, right? So we're going to make a box that is 8.5 by 11. Oops. Let's go back in there with 8.5 tab by 11. Enter. You always have a border around it. You never want to print borderless when you want to piece things together, because when you print borderless, it stretches out your image. So you never want to choose borderless. So we're going to go do an internal offset that accounts basically for the print margin, which is 0.125. I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to take that inside one, which is 8.25 by 10.75. And I'm going to place that over my design. So if I rotate it, let's see. So it's going to take 8.5 by 11. So I would go there. It'll be another one. Select those two and duplicate them below. The first time I use keyboard shortcuts. I'm just going to use my replicate tool and go down. And I'm just going to center this just for the scene. Because even if I go over here, there's a little bit left. If you want to save on paper, you can make it where it goes to the edge here. And then you'll just have this little piece left that you have to attach to it, or you can put it in the center. But however many pages you're going to need, I also recommend that you do overlap. So with this, I'm going to tab it over 1, 2. And then the bottom ones, I'm going to go up 1, 2. We're going to select it, and you're going to make a duplicate 4 times. You're going to select this part up here, modify, and crop. And we can delete these. So this one, we're going to click here, delete. Everything here, we're going to delete. The top, we're going to delete. And then I'm going to go through the middle and delete. So this is this side, and this side. Select, crop, crop, crop. So now with my 8.5 by 11 paper, I'm going to rotate these. And I will put, well, you can hit center to page, which is this one. Print that one out. Click on this one, center to page, print that one out. And then these two, I'm going to center them to page. And now that they're over here, I will just print because it's really small. So the other way, I would have had to waste 4 sheets of paper. With this one, because it was a small piece left, I can get these 2 smaller pieces on 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11. So I really only had to use 3 instead of 4. And then you would print this out. So that is a way to cut up larger designs, is to crop them out. So yours will be the same thing. But yours, I didn't know what you said, like, because you said slice an image for larger print, like 13 by 17, but that would fit on a 13 by 19 paper. So that's why I didn't understand yours. If my question needs to wait for a different class, please let me know. I've been watching your printer videos and want to make sure that I understand correctly. The 7840 requires that I order chips for every refill, and the 7710, 7720 do not and need the chip resetter. Yes, that is correct. Yes, this is a general Q&A. I was hoping that we would kind of focus on like design type stuff, but yes, it is technically a general Q&A because I cannot do my vinyl project because my eyes are sensitive to light right now. So while I'm waiting for the next one, I'm going to go back up here to Shawnee's question. I know you mentioned you teach classes. How often do you teach classes and how can I sign up? So I have an academy. And we're going to go over to here. And I have like, I'll do like general like design classes or specific projects. Like this weekend, I have the class on selfie frames and how to design for basically like a print and cut, and then be able to print to banner paper, and how to cut it up for a selfie frame. I've done classes for banners, chip bags, and so it's specific classes. Those I try to schedule at least one or two of those per month. So you have to just visit our Academy site. Now I do have a membership, like some memberships. With those, we have sessions monthly. The bachelor's is just the how. Right now, I haven't given them access because I had issues with my editing software and I can't really edit videos to put onto the site. But there's not very many students in that. Most of my students are in master's and doctorate. The Master's of Design Studio Engineering is about learning graphic design via Silhouette Studio. So we're going over the basics, like I'm giving you a full understanding of how designing works. Why do you have to crop? Why do you have to send this to the back, bring this to the front? Why does it have to be arranged this way? If I need to trace this, how can I look at any image and know exactly how to trace it? Do I have to trace it, or can I trace it automatically? Do I have to trace it manually? If it has multiple colors, how do I do that? How do I use my edit points? Why do I have to do it this way? So it is the why, not just the how, it is the why. You have to understand why things need to be done a certain way to be able to fully design and, be limitless in how you design. So with the master's and the doctorate, you get the why of graphic design, the why of just designing. I host at least 3 to 4 classes or sessions every single month. And they're like study sessions where it's kind of like an open QA, but it's via Zoom. So it is as interactive and as like in-person kind of sort as it can be without being in person, but you're able to communicate with me. If you're on your computer, you're able to share your screen. When we're going through certain like actual demos, everyone's going through it step by step by step together. If you get stuck, I'm there to help you. So that's the interaction that we have in my classes. It's not via a Facebook group. It's not a bunch of pre-recorded classes. If you are able to attend live, you're going to be in for a treat. You're going to get your money's worth. So we have study sessions, but then we have what I call like extended essentials. So my essentials in Silhouette Studio, we expound on certain sections of that so that you get a full understanding of it. And then we have at least one design class. This membership is not about necessarily teaching you a craft project, not teaching you how to design a chip bag, but all of the skills that you will learn, you put them together and you will learn, and you will know how to design it. You have to learn the program first. Anyone can go and just show you to make a box, add an image to this, add a background, add a text. And when you're following along and if you're using the exact same images that they're using, it can be really, easy. But when you want to really customize things, you got to know how to use the program. And that's what my academy is all about. It is teaching graphic design. Now, I do have classes where I'm teaching specific things, chip bags or banners, flyers, invitations, those sorts of things. As a member, you get discounts to attend those live sessions. No, I do not have anything that will make it to where you have access to all of my classes, all at, just at one price, because I have different ones which appeal to different people. The doctorate one goes over the business side of it. So we have business strategy sessions. That's really the only difference between the two. It still gets all of the masters, but doctorate, we have sessions where we go over website things. Like we just had one. We kind of went over some things for Shopify. Was that yesterday or day before yesterday? Next month, we're going to go through like which apps and things are great for like Shopify, what you should have on there. I do website audits to help you kind of figure out what needs to be changed. How is it easy to navigate your website? We do profit by the numbers, and we really break down how to maximize your revenue and your profit. We went through like pricing calculators. We have just general sessions about how to, market yourself more, Facebook. And we just have a check-in, just like you want to frustrate and vent and like, this is driving me crazy. My client's doing this, trying to figure out what policies you should implement because this situation happened. We are a group of listening ears, and I do my best to guide and help in any way that I can. I'm not an expert on all things. Like someone asked, what did they ask about? So they asked about something, and I was like, ooh, I think it was pop-up shops. I'm not one that I've ever done a pop-up shop. So I'm not the go-to for, what to expect, what all to take, how well, how successful are they? I'm not your gal for that because I don't really care for pop-up shops. It worked great for others. For me, it's just a no as far as customs. Now, if I had to go somewhere and it was like a vendor show and it was about just different ways to make t-shirts and stuff, I would go with my products to sell my products there, but I wouldn't do like custom shirts and tumblers and stuff like that. That's just not kind of how, I don't see, not to say the value in it. I just can't see myself doing it. And it's to each their own. Everyone's not going to, be comfortable with doing pop-up shops, or that's something they like to do, just kind of sit there all day and maybe only get 1 or 2 sales. Or it can be a great day and it's super, super busy. Pop-up shops are hit and miss. And, they just don't appeal to me. So someone asked about that and I was like, yeah, I just really can't. So someone else stepped in, actually a few other people kind of, they unmuted and they gave their experiences with pop-up shops, or, with some that says, hey, that's my fear too. So we are able to talk about our fears, our wins and things like that in these sessions. So those, I have at least 3 to 4 of those a month, because we'll have at least 2 business check-ins, a profit by the numbers, and a website session. So there's 4 sessions per month for the doctorate program, but they also get to attend all of the study sessions for Silhouette Studio. If you are one that's not using Silhouette Studio, my Facebook supporters page used to be just for the business side. They get access to the to those sessions as well, the business sessions only. They don't get access to any of the Silhouette stuff. They're just wanting the help for the business side. So there's a separate membership for that. Let's see. I want to add a sublimated design to a wooden board. Do I need to laminate it first? And then yes. So you have to either laminate it, or there is like what's that thing called? Subli-glaze, which is more like a spray paint, but that soaks that up. It takes a lot to get that on the wood, especially if you want it to be white so that it's the full design. But you have to put some sort of coating on it. So laminate it or use Subli-glaze. Okay, I posted closing off a section to fill with color. I thought I answered, I remember yours. Now, the image that you have is not going to be a really great one to trace. There's a lot of really small sections in that design, so it's not going to trace like super, super great. Oh, wait, no. Yours is the other one. So you're saying like, no, yours was a different one. It was somebody else that posted a picture and it had a gap at the bottom. Oh, that was this one, this picture. So I don't know how it's set up. And that's the thing too, when, that picture is so small. Once you kind of click on it like that, I can only tell you how I would naturally do it. When it is, when I can't physically see it, I don't know how to set it up. But the way that this looks and all of this white. So if you were to click on this part right here and change the color, all of this should change in color. So what you would do is go to your draw curve, however you want this to cut off. So if you wanted it to cut off and it to be a curved shape, you're just going to go around it and curve it. And this piece right here, I'm going to color it in. So this piece right here, you would select that, hold down shift and select the white. If you have this white grouped to anything else, it's not going to work. So it needs to be ungrouped. So you're going to click on this. You're going to click on, hold down shift, click on the white, and then you're going to subtract. That's going to cut that as a gap in here to where you can change this color on this side and then change the color on this side. Now you have a gap here. If this was supposed to be closed off to it be a different color, you're going to have to do that to do the same thing. You can use your knife tool, but the knife will cut through all layers. So if you use the knife tool to cut through here, it is also going to cut a hole through the black layer. And then you would have to double click on that, hold down shift, select those edit points, and then choose delete point so that it deletes that cut. And that may or may not help because it really depends on your knowledge of Silhouette Studio and whether or not you can kind of follow along with what I'm saying. Make a duplicate. If you're worried about it, you feel like it's not going to work, copy it, paste it in a new window. That way you can work on just that one and you're not making a lot of changes to your original until you figure out how to do it and where all you have to make cuts at. I don't know where all you want there to be a separation or where all what parts you're trying to change is a different color. I can only tell you what the technique would be. And then for this, it would be to draw a shape and then select the shape and the white area and subtract. When I use glitter Oracle, it is really hard to work with and transfer. Do you have tricks with working with 651 glitter? Oracle does not sell glitter vinyl. So it might be a permanent vinyl, but it's not Oracle because Oracle does not sell glitter 651. It is very hard to pick up glitter transfers or glitter vinyl, especially if it's coarse. You would have to use a high tack transfer sheet in order to get that to lift up. And it's going to take a lot of finessing, like turning it over and pressing it into the transfer tape and pulling back the back paper slowly and pushing it into the transfer tape to help it stick. I actually don't like dealing with glitter at all. So I'm not one that uses a lot of glitter transfers. I prefer to use holographic because it's a lot easier to work with. Which would you recommend for someone coming back to Silhouette on a Mac? I know some of the basics and enough for me to get in trouble. Which would I suggest for what? As far as my classes, is that what you're asking, Amelia? Still can't get my computer to scan my letters. What am I doing wrong? You have a Mac, mother. I don't know what to tell you. You have to figure out where Epson is. So when you are scanning, you're going to go here and I find Epson and I open up the scan 2. So you should, even on your Mac, you should have something that looks like this. And then you just go and put your image on your computer and you hit scan. And it is going to save it right here. It's going to tell you file folder, documents, and file name. It'll be there. So that's where it was scanned to. You have a Mac. I'm not sure how to get to your scan 2. So you would have to go to your Finder and search for Epson Scan 2. And you scan from the computer, not the printer. Oh, you want that. You're saying it needs to close. So to me, this looks as, unless you, if you want to, Samantha, while I'm on, I'll probably on for another 10 minutes or so. If you want to send me that Silhouette file to silaholics@gmail.com, I can look at exactly how it is and show you that way. But you're saying you need it to close off. It's not going to close unless this is black on top. Normally with this and with me looking how this is, this looks as if it is the black part underneath. Now, If it is a black piece that's on top and it's not the background, you would take this and then weld it to this black piece and this black piece. So if this is something that you can select this black and move it, select this and move it, take this shape and weld it to these two pieces. So you'll select all three and weld. So she said, go to your printer settings under, go to your printer settings under system preferences. And I guess that's where your scan utility is. So they're exactly the same. There's no difference in them. If you just want to, I mean, I know you're saying, you know, like the basics. We go through the basics and we go through some design stuff. If you're just wanting to like go over design, just wait for me to have a dedicated class. But if you're wanting to attend monthly sessions to really help you learn the program better, either one of them will work. They are exactly the same when it comes to learning Silhouette Studio. The only difference is doctorate members get the business support as well. But for as far as Silhouette Studio and learning it, master's and doctorate are the exact same classes. Okay. See, I told you I ain't the Mac girl. Thank you, Shawnee, for helping her, because I'm like, I don't know Mac. I keep trying to tell my mother that. I don't know Mac, ma'am. I know I was off. I wasn't saying anything. No one had any questions. Oh, phooey. PC gang. All right, Samantha, are you going to be able to send it so that I know? Because if not, I'm going to wrap this one up. We've been on for about an hour. My goal was to be off at 8 o'clock. But if you're going to send your image for me to help you with that one, I will wait for your email and then answer that one. Will be the last one. Have you heard of StarCraft coming out with a 16-inch cutter? Seen some videos on it. I don't even know who StarCraft. Well, I know of StarCraft, but I don't keep up with other cutters. I'm okay with Silhouette Studio. I mean, Silaholics, with the Silhouette cameos. So I don't really look into any other ones unless I'm looking into a large format one. 16 inches is not large format to me. I don't do anything that's going to really need me to use a 16, just like a regular vinyl color cutter. I do have a US cutter that is 42 inches. I have a Roland that's 20 inches. So unless it has a true benefit for me, I don't look into other cutters. To me, 16 inches is nothing more than a craft cutter. So it wouldn't even be on my radar. The paid classes is this Saturday. It is the print and cut selfie frames. And then we have the all over sublimation shirt next weekend. and then T-shirt talk. But T-shirt talk, Academy members get access to that one automatically. And so it's just those two this month. Wait, you sent me the regular, you sent me the image, not your silhouette file. So I want to help, but I want to have to retrace it because that's a lot. Can you send me the silhouette file that you're working from? Because then I would have to retrace all of this also. I mean, this is a lot of, I mean, you're going to have a lot of gaps on this. Actually, you know what? Let me bring this in so I can just show. You're going to have a lot of gaps on this because this isn't really a high, like, I mean, it's a high resolution, but there are a lot of really thin lines on this. So it would take a lot to make sure that all those areas are closed off. But if you can send me your silhouette file, that would be better. There's a lot of dark areas on this. So once you go to trace this, so I'm going to go select trace area, and you're going to end up going very, like, really, really low on your threshold, and see how you now have all of these different gaps. If you go higher on your threshold, it's certain areas that are going to be filled in. You're not going to have the outline around it. So this would be one where you would have to do several traces in order to get this to trace properly, because you'll have to do one that is at like a lower threshold, and then to fill in the gaps here, you're going to have to go to a higher threshold, but then subtract things away because you're not going to be able to get all the details. This has a lot of dark shading in it. This is really not ideal. If you're wanting to do this, my suggestion would be to take this and remove the color from it. So under grayscale, you're going to go all the way down. We're going to go to image effects. Well, let's go to here. Your saturation. Oops, hold on. Let's take our saturation down. Let's take our contrast. If we go up, it'll be a little bit darker, but you increase the area here. And let's see, if I go and adjust my brightness, that can help a little bit to try and trace it a little bit better. So now let's see if we go to select trace area, place the box, and yeah, so it's a little bit better. Like in here, you're not going to get the detail inside here without picking up this area. And I'm going to take my threshold up little by little. So it's starting to pick it up there. I'm going to go back down. So again, you're not going to have all of the details inside of the feathers, but this could give you a better result. And then you hit trace. Now it looks like you're talking about this area, but that area is not connected in this image. So I'm not sure what you're wanting to connect, because in this, it's not connected. Now, I'm not sure if you're trying to connect it because it made this where it's all one, because it could not separate from here to here. And if that's the case, you would have to create that separation either first or afterwards. So what I was referring to before, if I were to fill this in with color, and then I'm going to release compound path. Oh, there's a gap somewhere. There is an opening right here. So there's actually more work to this. Let's see, select trace area. I knew that this was, and you're not going to be able to get this part here to trace at all. So yeah, that part there, you're not going to get that to trace at all. So if you're wanting this to separate, yeah, this right here is kind of really bad. You would have to, with nothing selected, go to your line tool, make it black, and then make that like 0.5 or 1, depending on how thick you want it to be. All right, so nothing is selected. Then what you're going to do is come over here to your draw curve, zoom into the section that you need to adjust. So we're going to zoom in here, and I'm going to go here. Oh, come on. Undo. O M to the G. All right, I don't have time for that. Let's just move this out of the way and zoom back in right here. Silhouette Studio is acting crazy. All right, so we're going to go to the draw curve. We're going to put our first mark here and then click around this area, which I don't understand why it's not curving. I have like a major delay. But you kind of get the general idea. That will put a line there, which I guess it needs to be a little bit thicker. So I'm going to click on just that line. Silhouette Studio is acting really funky. And I'm going to make that line 2. Well, let's just take it up to 3. And then now when I bring back my trace tool, it will cut that area off because that will be filled with yellow. And that's going to create separation between here, which that looks like it actually should be open. So the wing part should be closed off right there at the wing, because that's what that is. Okay, that should be open. So now you're closing that part off. And now when you trace it, the wing will be separated. But you're going to have to do that to a lot of areas because you have a lot of open gaps. Like right here, you would need one to close off that section. Well, let me click off nothing selected. Let's make this 3. And then go back in. I'm going to close this section off. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this crazy thing? So it just went down like that, but same concept. Again, we're going to go from here. What the heck? All right, I don't have time for this. I don't know what's going on with Silhouette, but you kind of get the idea. You have to close off those sections so that this becomes a banner and it's not going to be an open gap. These are things that I teach in the academy courses, the master's courses, on how to know like when you have to do things like this, because not all images are going to trace the same. All right, it's just too much open on my computer right now. So we're going to go close out. They won't be on your dashboard because they're not included in your membership. You would have to pay for those sessions. Is there something that the Curio can do that regular cameos can't? So the Curio is a companion to the Cameo. It's not to replace it. It's a small, it can do regular cuts. Like you can cut regular vinyl on it, but it's a smaller cutter. It is made more so for embossing and stippling and things like that. So it's a companion. It's not a replacement for the Cameo or the portrait. All right. But yeah, that one is pretty. That was a pretty complicated one because it's not a high resolution image, or there's a lot of parts to it. The other thing that I was going to suggest, once I kind of took it down, I realized that, oh, well, I can actually get it down to trace it. But my recommendation would be to take it down to black and white, print it out, put a piece of copy paper on top, and manually trace it with a fine tip Sharpie. Take a picture of that or scan that and then trace the Sharpie print and like put that in Silhouette Studio and trace that. that's probably going to give you a better result than trying to trace the one that you have. They will be listed on my Academy site. The one for Saturday will be up tomorrow, and the one for the all over will be posted sometime this weekend, hopefully. Well, hello from the UK. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I am now at 1 hour and 30 minutes. I know it's supposed to be vinyl onto canvas. You know, sorry. Still got a little pressure in between my eyes, and I'm sensitive to light. But tomorrow, hopefully all is okay, and we will put adhesive vinyl onto, like, to build a selfie frame with just adhesive vinyl without printing it. And then I think, wait, hold on. I think that's the one. Or no, that is on Saturday. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's not that. Tomorrow is, oh, it is yard signs. Oh, tomorrow is yard signs with 651. And then Saturday is the selfie frames with 651. And then there is the print and cut class on Saturday. Well, it's not print and cut, meaning print to banner paper and then cut the foam board is what that one is. Or you can also do print and cut, like if you want to put like 3D images on there, you can also do that. And then Sunday is the live chat as far as t-shirts. So both of those will go up tomorrow. If you are an Academy member, you will have access to the live t-shirt chat, where we will just discuss various ways to make t-shirts, maybe help you figure out what system is going to be best for you, because there are a lot of different ways to make shirts. As you saw today, I was doing the printable transfers mixed with screen print. Then you have sublimation, you have DTF, you have direct to garment, you have white toner transfers, you have embroidery. I don't really do embroidery, but we're just going to talk about the different ways, the pros and the cons, and what's going to be best for what type of shirt that you're trying to do, so that you're not out here with a bunch of equipment that you are definitely not using. You want to, you know, be more efficient with the things that you, or be more strategic in the things that you are purchasing for your business. So T-shirt Talk is a going to be a live class where it is on a Zoom. So if you want to, you know, really chat with me, be able to verbalize your questions, that is where you want to be at on Sunday. And then that one is at 12 noon on Sunday. And then we will go right into the live of just putting HTV to a shirt. So next week is T-shirt week. All right. So thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be on twice because, well, I may skip the live Q&A tomorrow morning because it is 12 noon. I'm probably going to try and sleep in. Maybe I need some sleep. I don't know. But if I'm feeling good, you'll see me tomorrow morning for the Q&A. If not, it'll be at 12 noon for the yard signs. And then I'll see you guys with Miss Craftable, Patrice, over on Craftable Things at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing resin pens, which I need to actually go get my Inkjoy pens because I did not go get them. So you guys will see us crafting and conversating over on her channel tomorrow. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.